Have you ever wondered what you would do if a shark suddenly appeared beside you and gently bumped into your leg instead of attacking right away? It sounds strange because most of us imagine sharks either ignoring us completely or attacking without warning. But that brief touch, that unexpected nudge, may be one of the most important signals a shark can give. Out in the ocean, sharks live in a world that looks very different from ours. Water limits, visibility, light fades quickly. Shapes become distorted. Even in clear tropical water, what seems obvious to us may not be obvious to a shark. That simple fact helps explain one of the most misunderstood behaviors in the animal kingdom. Many shark species sometimes make physical contact before a bite. Scientists and divers have documented this behavior for decades. The bump is often described as a gentle push with the snout or side of the body. To a human, it can feel confusing. To a shark, it may be part of gathering information. Imagine walking through your yard at dusk and noticing something unusual near a tree. From a distance, you cannot quite tell whether it is a dog, a pile of leaves, or a trash bag moving in the wind. You move closer, you look from another angle. You might even touch it with your foot before deciding what it is. Sharks face similar challenges underwater. Contrary to popular belief, sharks do not spend their lives searching for humans. Most shark species have evolved to hunt fish, seals, squid, rays, and other marine animals. Humans are not a normal part of their diet. Yet when a shark encounters something unfamiliar, curiosity can take over. That curiosity is supported by an extraordinary collection of senses. Sharks can detect tiny electrical signals produced by living creatures. They can sense vibrations traveling through the water. Their sense of smell is remarkably sensitive. But even with all these abilities, identifying an object perfectly is not always easy. A surfer lying on a board can look very different from a standing person swimming. A swimmer splashing at the surface may create vibrations that resemble an injured animal. Shadows and sunlight can further complicate what a shark perceives. In some cases, a bump may be the shark's way of getting more information before making a decision. Researchers believe certain sharks use contact to investigate objects that interest them. The shark is not necessarily preparing to attack. It may simply be trying to understand what it has encountered. Divers often describe moments when large sharks circle, approach, and make brief contact before moving away. These interactions can be intimidating, but many end without injury. The shark gathers information and decides the object is not worth pursuing. This does not mean a bump should ever be ignored. Far from it. One reason shark bumps receive so much attention is that they sometimes occur before a bite. In those situations, the contact may be part of an investigative process. Sharks do not have hands. They cannot pick something up and examine it. Their mouths play a role in exploring the world around them. Think about how a young puppy investigates a new toy. It sniffs it, nudges it, and sometimes puts it in its mouth. The intention is not necessarily aggression, it is exploration. While sharks are obviously very different animals, the basic challenge is similar. Both must gather information about unfamiliar objects using the tools nature gave them. The difference, of course, is that a shark's exploratory bite can be extremely dangerous. Even a single test bite from a large shark can cause severe injury. That is why understanding the behavior matters. Interestingly, many documented shark bites involve only one bite. The shark bites, realizes the human is not its preferred prey, and leaves. This pattern has contributed to the idea that some incidents result from mistaken identity or investigation rather than deliberate hunting. The ocean is full of uncertainty. A seal moving through murky water creates one set of signals. A swimmer may accidentally create another set that overlaps in important ways. For a shark operating on limited information, mistakes can happen. So what should you do if a shark bumps you? The first and most important thing is to stay as calm as possible. Panic creates rapid, erratic movement. Splashing and thrashing can generate signals that attract more attention. Calm behavior helps you maintain control and reduces confusion. Marine safety experts often recommend keeping the shark in view. Predatory animals frequently prefer surprise. By facing the shark, you communicate awareness. Many experienced divers report that maintaining visual contact can reduce the likelihood of repeated close approaches. If possible, slowly move toward a boat, shore, reef, or any solid structure that offers protection. The key word is slowly. Sudden frantic swimming can create exactly the kind of disturbance you want to avoid. Imagine encountering a large stray dog while walking home at night. Running immediately may trigger a chase response. Standing your ground, remaining aware, and backing away carefully often leads to a better outcome. The principle is not identical, but the value of controlled behavior is similar. Some divers who work regularly with sharks use gentle redirection if a shark approaches too closely. They may place a camera, fin, or other object between themselves and the shark. The goal is not to strike the animal, but to create space and communicate boundaries. Of course, every situation is different. The ocean is unpredictable. No single response guarantees safety. Yet experts consistently emphasize calm awareness and controlled movement as important factors. What makes this behavior so fascinating is what it reveals about sharks themselves. Popular culture has often portrayed them as mindless killing machines. Reality is far more interesting. Sharks are animals making decisions in a complex environment. They gather information, they assess risk, they respond to curiosity, they learn from experience. The more scientists study sharks, the more we discover that their behavior is shaped by far more than simple instinct. Different species show different personalities. Some are cautious, some are bold, some investigate unfamiliar objects repeatedly, while others remain distant. If you enjoy exploring mysteries like this and seeing wildlife through a deeper lens, consider subscribing to Global Wild Origins. Every week we uncover the hidden stories behind animal behaviors that most people notice but rarely understand. Perhaps the most remarkable part of the story is that a shark bump reminds us how much of nature exists beyond our assumptions. What feels terrifying from our perspective may actually be an animal trying to answer a question. What appears to be aggression may begin as uncertainty. That does not make sharks harmless. They deserve respect, caution, and space. But understanding them allows us to replace fear with knowledge. And knowledge often reveals something more beautiful than the myths we started with. So the next time you hear that a shark bumped someone before biting, remember that the story may have begun long before the bite itself. It began with an animal moving through a world of shadows and signals, trying to understand something unfamiliar, and perhaps that is the quiet lesson hidden beneath the waves. Even one of the ocean's most feared predators spends much of its life asking questions before making decisions. In a world that often seems frightening from a distance, understanding usually begins with getting a little closer.